All right, good morning, everybody. So a little bit of some live action here this morning. I'm actually in a trade here in LIXT. I'm down on it. Well, I've locked in just a few dollars on it and have a really small position left. Let's see, I can bring this over. There's our level 2 and our time in sales. And it's trying to bounce off of this 10-minute cloud that I talked about yesterday in the video. Oh, and we're finally getting some traction. I actually bought 200 shares at 270. Oh man, I'm trying to get through that wall. I only have 40 shares left though. I've sold 160 of them, like right over 270. As you can see, we did not get much of a pop whatsoever. We've been topping out at like 275 and can't really break that level. So I was just taking some off in market orders. Again, you can see we're failing to break out here. Part of me just wants to cut this now to break even, but I feel like if we can get over 275, we should get some sort of squeeze here, and we might be going. Oh, come on. This is what keeps happening. We're getting this push. You can see the tape start running, and then we're just getting rejected over and over again. Tons of selling pressure right here. I think if we can get through 275 and 280, we should get a pop back up to 3 with shorts covering. I just actually had a sell order in just for 5 shares at 274, just take off a little very small size, but since we keep rejecting that level, I didn't get the best entry on this. Like I said, 270. You can see this cloud down here is actually like at 250. Oh, here we go. Come on, get through 27. This 275 is going to be tough. Come on. But yeah, when I was watching this trade earlier out of the open, like I talked about, I was on a 3 minute, and honestly, it was just a really crappy entry between. I didn't use the clouds for my entry. 270 just looked like it was a solid base, and we were about to bounce, so I got in just because the last 2 days I've missed, the morning runners I wanted. I haven't taken my levels on the dip because I've been waiting for them to potentially dip further and get a little bit more confirmation, and they take off without me. So this morning, I didn't have the best mindset here. I kind of just woke up this morning and fired up the market, and I was just like, I'm getting in whatever I think is the top play this morning, right at the open, pretty much. And yeah, that kind of coming back to bite me a little bit. Now we're rejecting that 275 again, but we're still hanging up here. At least we didn't reject all the way back down to 250. But it just seems like there's some big money shorts or something trying to keep this below 275. We just cannot bust through. But yeah, I only have 35 shares on it now, so that's why I'm kind of more calm than I was when I had all 200 and we kind of pulled back. It wasn't looking too good, but once we started getting spikes, like I said, even just over into this like 272, 273, 274, I was just selling pieces of 10 market orders out, basically just to take off size, not so much for profit. Obviously, a few cents isn't anything, but I just didn't really like my entry at 270 anymore. So I was just trying to size down, and I should have averaged down into the 250s. I thought about it, but I don't know. This trade is just it's not giving me the best vibes right now. We're just getting stuffed time and time again for the last 30 minutes or so. Cannot bust out of this range, but if we do, it's going to be great. So that's why I don't want to cut it completely. And like I said, only 35 shares. Not a big deal if it goes against me. If it cracks below 247, that's the lows here. If it cracks below 247 is when I would cut. Oh, come on, let's get something here. Oh my gosh, this is frustrating. Like I said, if I would have been a little more patient, even if I didn't get all the way down here, if I got like a 260 average down there, at least with the 200 shares, at least I could be locking in, a small $20, $25 win. Nothing crazy, but it is about like a 1% increase on my account, which, if you can grow your account by 1% every day over time, that 1% obviously becomes more than 20 or $25, and it becomes 30, 40, 50, etc. And after a few months of that, you'll see some substantial growth on the account. But right now, yeah, I've locked in $3.93 on this trade right now. But it's better than, I mean, I'm happy that I took off a lot of size just for basically break even, because if I still had my full 200 share position when we dipped down here to like 247, I'm not sure if I would have held through that dip, even though these 10-minute clouds, it honored them. And that's actually the pullback level that we talked about for entry. I should have been more patient, and that's why I've held. I think I did have about 120 when we dipped it down to 250 the first time. 120 shares left, and so I just tried to be patient and follow the new strategy. It's hard to kind of stay in these newer strategies sometimes once you have actually got the money in them. When I was reviewing the, this is not there. Oh, here we go. Nope. This thing is just crushing me. Just want to see a bunch of green over here once we get to the 274, 275 average. We need some buyers to step in and push it through. I like that now we're hanging out at this level a lot longer than we were before. Come on, let's go. It's gotta be the time. How many times can we test 275 and not get a push? I guess we'll find out. Come on. But you can see all of these are really big wicks and they close red. So I'm happy that we got a full green candle closed, and then this has a nice bottom wick on it and is teetering around green. So we are holding up at these levels longer than we were, when we first were kind of in this range. And I'll just switch over to the 3-minute now so I can show you guys how stupid of an entry I had, because this wasn't the chart I was looking at. Hopefully those things pop back up. There we go. So yeah, that was just a terrible entry on my part. 270. It was like right around here on this red candle. We fell below the blue cloud, which is obviously not good for the short term. And then I didn't wait for us to come down here and test this bigger cloud. I just got in kind of the middle of this area. The reason that I took it is, like I said, we just seemed to kind of be basing here. And then on the 3-minute, you can see in pre-market, we had this nice consolidation area, kind of like a supply zone that I was talking about. Actually, I don't know if I talked about that in the video I posted. If I didn't, instead of using like hard spots as just like 270 or some 270 up, like a low is support and a high is resistance, I'm looking more into zones like this as being supply and demand zones. When we consolidate there. So I was hoping that, like I said, we were kind of stalling at 270 and it was acting as support for a minute. Oh, are we going to go? And it was kind of at the bottom of this supply zone. So I thought that we would kind of easily retest like the 280s, low 280s, just the top of that zone. We have not, and we are just stuck here. And I've just been in this trade for what seems like forever. We're just getting nothing. I'm close to just cutting it because it's just annoying me, but we are getting back over this cloud. It looks like it's turning blue for us, but like I said, we're just not able to get over this 275. But we're still holding, and I'm just gonna, like I said, with now I only have 30 shares left. I just sold 5 more at 274 when we popped up there for a second. So I am going to hold unless we make a new low of day, then that's when I'll cut these last 30 shares. I'm just going to put another sell of 5 more at 274 in case we retest that and fail. But this is looking like it's going to, yeah, no, I don't know. But let's see. I guess it doesn't matter if I'm on the 10 or the 3 at the moment, since we're up here and I know my risk level is going to be down there, and all we need is to bust through this 275. I don't know if we'll do it, but we're going to hang out until we do, or for until we fail the low of day. But yeah, I just figured this might be a little bit better instead of, just having an end of day video talking about it in hindsight. And I just feel like I should just close this position at 270, break even on my final 30 shares, and look for a potential re-entry of 250 or at 250 because it looks like we're about to fall back down there now. But I've been wrong on this stock basically all morning, so we probably won't fall to 250 now that I think we're going to. Here comes our break at 275. Come on. But yeah, this morning has just been ugly. We had four runners really in pre-market, and as of now, they've pretty much all sold off. Or yeah, they all did sell off. We had M, Y, and Z. I'm just gonna pull up these other ones while we wait. You can see this was a big runner. The news on this one was kind of crappy, so that's why I stayed away from this. I don't remember what the news. Oh, it got rights from Moderna biomarkers for at-home screening test for whatever colorectal cancer. So it's just at-home test screening test. It's not COVID related. I don't know. Some cancer news runs, some doesn't. It just depends on the news, and I didn't think take-home tests were really that great of news, so I knew I was going to stay away from this one. It sold off. LGVN has been a runner in the past. They had news that was about Alzheimer's, which Alzheimer's plays have been running. The reason I stayed away from LGVN is because the spread on this gets kind of big sometimes. I just looked at it now. It's actually a tight spread at the moment, but it has just sold off. And I stayed away from LGVN because you can see we spiked big time up into even the 40s just a few months ago. Actually, not a few months. Well, mid-November, so a couple months ago, a month and a half. And then we just faded off so hard. So this was a nice bounce, but it's just too far up for me personally right now because even though actually this only has like a 3 million float, so I doubt we have a ton of bag holders in it. A lot of people have probably gotten out, but at the same time, it is just a downtrending chart from then. I'm sure you do still have people holding from up here to an extent that haven't accepted their losses yet, that are probably selling into these pops, or in this area here, they started basically getting break even on it, selling. So that's why I stayed away from LGVN, even though it is a super small float. And then we had ZSAN this morning, which this chart was just kind of crap. Well, the chart's not that bad, I guess. But the news on it, I was not a big fan of. Let's see what I can pull it up more easily for myself in Discord. Where is this news on ZSAN? Oh, let's see. Zosano Pharma announces publication of clinical data demonstrating comparable immunogenicity of a trivalent influenza vaccine formulated on its transdermal microneedle system versus an intramuscular injection of the vaccine at a higher dose. So I don't know what that really means, to be honest with you. It's vaccine news, but it's not COVID vaccine news, and people are kind of over COVID vaccine news anyway. So I wasn't a big fan of this news, and that's why I stayed away from this one as well. And the last I checked, it was selling off. Yeah, huge spike, and just so good to stay away from that one. And then that leaves us with LIXT. So I think I did pick the best of the bunch here, but we're just stuck. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay in this trade. I got in at 9:35, so I've been in it for 45 minutes now, I think. Yeah, 45 minutes, and it's just, I haven't been very green on it in this entire 45 minutes. Now it's just chopping around my entry, so figure I might as well give it some time and see what it wants to do because it is honoring these clouds pretty well. Like I said, I'll just go off a low a day here of 247. Hopefully we get a spike and a pop. Something's got to go. Well, actually, nothing has to happen because the stock market just, does what it wants. Today, maybe it takes Wednesday off because it's given us a couple runners the last couple days. I don't know. I do have, actually, I just put another order in for 5 more out at 274. So if we get through 274, and those get executed, uh, then I'll only have 20 shares left for, even if we do get a squeeze at that point, I'll only have 20 shares on it, so it won't really mean much. But I just don't like this 270 entry anymore. There's just not, I mean, there's upside if we can squeeze, but the risk reward is kind of crappy now that we've seen the low of day being 247. I'm risking 20. Oh, there goes my 2 orders there, just sold off. But yeah, so now I'm, with a 270 entry, essentially risking 24 cents a share. With the upside, I mean, I'm looking to push to 3 and test these pre-market highs, which is only at 30 cents. So the risk reward here is no longer as good as I was hoping. When I entered it, we didn't have that 247 low, obviously. I got in before we dipped that far. So yeah, that's why I've just been selling off for these little minor gains because this is not the best spot to be in anymore. But oh, come on, here we go. Oh no, that was wow, that was rude. That was okay. I don't know why I trade. This is just painful. What was that? Oh my gosh, and I cannot believe that just happened. Like, even if it is just going to be a quick spike, I would think that it would go. You gotta be kidding me. I'm about to get stopped out right now. Even though it's only 20 shares, so I'll pretty much be breaking even on this trade. I'm just going to put my order in at 245 if we break below 247. Wow, that was terrible. What's the high of this candle? The high 277. This high 27. So we broke past this high here from our only bounce of the entire morning. And literally just got completely rejected. And that might be all she wrote here. We'll see. We'll give it another minute if we hold 247. We've been bouncing from this area, but now we're below that bounce cloud that we like, although we are still above the very bottom of the cloud. And we'll see what we do. But wow, that was so disappointing. I thought that we were going to get a nice squeeze action there into the mid 280s at least. But the market does what it wants. That was, wow. I wonder how many people just got sucked. No, probably not. It was too fast for people to buy a potential breakout. I mean, some people must have just got in at 275 break and just got their hopes and dreams crushed. Which mine kind of did too. But I was already in it. See, now this would be a perfect spot to be adding right now. But just because of how much we've been getting stuffed at that level, I'm not even going to bother. Although 250 to 275 is a nice 10% win. If I didn't have a position, I'd probably be entering right now. But because I've been sitting in this stock for what feels like eternity, even though it's been, 50 minutes or so now, I'm kind of over it. I just don't want to cut a loss and have it go, just like cut it in the middle of this. I mean, we're at pretty much at the bottom of the range now, but we're still holding up, so I don't want to just sell it because I'm bored. But this is quite frustrating. These are the worst trades to be in. Like, I would have rather just got stopped out 20 minutes ago. and gone on with my day. But now I'm just glued here. Hoping something happens. Which we're holding 250 now. I don't know what to expect with this though. I really don't. Oh, that's a lot of selling pressure, but so you can see we've got kind of the sales that are coming through on this end, and this shows all of our sales. This side over here, these are also sales that are coming through, but if you look at the size, there's no hundreds coming through on this side or anything, because I can come into the settings here and change the minimum kind of that it'll show me. So this kind of will show me bigger size. I'm actually going to move this up. 999. So see people that are at least slinging around 1,000 shares or more, because those are the people. I mean, 1,000 shares really isn't a big buyer. I mean, that's a relatively small position for most traders. But I'm going to continue to mess around with this because obviously if you see someone coming in with like a 10,000 share order like that one going, or if you see a big sell of like 50,000, that's not good because then someone with big money is either getting out of the trade or shorting it. But if you do get some big size coming in here and it's green, that's kind of a plus because then someone with money is getting in, buying a dip. They've probably got more more buying power behind them. Most people don't put in their full position right away. So then if it dips back down to that 250 or 248 or whatever level that they're eyeing, maybe they throw down another 20,000 shares to try and keep it afloat and buy the dip. So it's not these little guys with 100 shares. That's like me entering a trade. I don't make any difference as to whether a stock's going to hold up or go down. But some people do have enough buying power that they can momentarily at least hold a trade up for you and hope other buyers step in with them. Obviously, not one person's going to do it on their own. The team effort here. The Bulls versus the Bears. And we are, of course, the Bulls. But I don't know. This thing is just stuck in this range. And I don't know. I was going to say a knife is probably coming soon and we're just going to fall to like 230 in like 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds. If we break down and knife, it'll happen before I'm even able to get out, and that will stink. But I thought the same thing. If we broke through 275, I thought we'd get a nice pop, 10, 15, 20 cents at least to the upside. And I was wrong there. So maybe we can, fake 247 break, and before I can place my order, it just rips the other way. You never know. Unfortunately, you never know. But now we're pushing 25 minutes on the video here, and like I said, I don't have a bunch of size, so even if this does run, it's not going to be all that exciting. It's not like I'm about to make a huge amount of money here. I'm basically I might just cut this at 250. Yeah. Let's see, 247 is our low of day. That's held up a few times. And she's still holding. But the volume, you can see the volume's kind of dried up here compared to this first section. But I mean, this is a bunch just selling. But again, when we got that pop, we didn't get a big volume in of a bunch of buyers. But that breakout was too fast for buyers, I think. For breakout buyers, at least, to step in and buy the breakout. I don't know. We'll give it a couple more minutes here, whether I cut it or not, and probably just wrap up the video. But I just thought it'd be a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more fun and maybe helpful for people to see level 2. And since I had such a crappy entry, I didn't want to just pull it up later and be like, yeah, this was dumb. Oh, shoot. Get me out of here. All right. Well, that's all for me. I just cut that at 245. If it bounces now, it is what it is, but I'm not going to stick around and let it get any worse. So like I said, I think I was up. Well, at one point I was up like $3.93, and then I just sold 10 more into that 274 resistance kind of area, and then I just got rid of my last 20 shares for a decent sized loss. I don't know, per share, 25 cents a share. That's not what you want, but at least I took off most of my size, and that trade has netted me a loss of 70 cents. So it is what it is. I'm not mad about that at all. I'm happy the way that I managed it after that crappy entry that I was just impatient on. And at least I didn't have my full 200 shares down there and end up losing 40 or 50 bucks. Losing 70 cents for the upside that I thought was there was worth it. I'm not, like I said, not too upset about it. It was just a crappy entry. I need to be more patient because it wasn't on either cloud on either time frame. I should have been waiting for that 10-minute down to 250, and then I would have at least been able to lock in, 20, 30, 40 bucks into those 270, resistance levels. But let's see. Here's that open trade that I went over yesterday that I played up into this spike. No, this is the daily. Never mind. Played into just this little spike where we're back on these lows. I've been watching this for another potential entry for a similar swing of just like $1 a share, since it did work so well beforehand. But now we're testing the lower band again of the Bollinger Band, so I'm not going to enter now. But I'm definitely going to keep it on watch here and see what happens. All right, well, I'll close this out now. Pushing 27 minutes here. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed a little live action. Sorry it wasn't more eventful. Really, really teased me there on that fake breakout and pull. That one hurt. Thought I was finally going to get a nice run there. But it is what it is. Nothing's running this morning unless we got a new runner that started going. Oh man. Yep. I missed one. DTST is apparently running. We'll take these off. And I'm still getting this video in just a minute, but might as well pull it up and see what we missed out on being stuck in that consolidation zone. Oh, these people are talking about this at 9:37, 40. So, yeah, I guess we did get a nice. Oh yeah, we got a nice spike out of open, a pre-market break, or a break of the pre-market high, and then we're just really far out of the clouds, and we're coming back down and visiting them. I'm not gonna take this now because. Well, I just pulled it up. I'm not just going to enter a position as quickly, and I don't know what the news is, and it's just sold off hard since that initial spike. But yeah, all right, so that's it. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you next time.